Kunnar is not the customer, right? What I'm saying, the KN A1 and VBAK has a relationship because of with this field, Kunnar is a primary key in this table. Now let's check the VBAK. In the VBAK, Vibelin is a sales document number is the primary key. If we find Kunnar, here is the Kunnar available in this table. VBAK, it's a sales document header data. There is a field of Kunnar. It is about the sold to party. Okay, with the help of this, we can fetch the data. So you can say the KNA1 VBAK has a relationship with between. Now, if we check VBAP, we'll try to find out Kunnar. Okay, Kunnar is not available in this table. Okay, so we cannot fetch the data from this table, VBAP table. VBAP, this customer related data is available in this table. This is sales header data. Hope you understand the header data and item data. Guys, do you know what is the sales header data and item data? Any idea?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell me what is mean the header data?
Like the screen is divided into the three parts. So the two parts basically, the header data and the item level data. So the one day data like customer or any sales order number what we are generating, it will be stored into the header data and the material number or the any price what we are generating or maintaining in the screen that will be maintaining into the item.
Yes, header, it means header data, it means customer number, customer name, okay, shipping or just address you can say, name, address, etc. And VBAP in this table, VBAP, this is a table for item data. Okay, there is a field Vibelin, there is a field of Posner. Okay, Vibelin is about sales document and Posner is about the item data. Okay, so there is a Posner is a field VBK has VBELN field. How we can connect with the VBAP table? VBLN. See the customer table and sales order table. We can connect with this key Kundar and Kundar there is a field. Through that we can able to fetch the data. There is a relationship between them. And now if you want to fetch item data with the item table, the respective customer or the respective or that particular sales document data, how we can connect? There is a field of Vibelin. Vibelin is about it is a sales document number. VBAK is about the sales VBAP is a sales item data. And the item data or item data it means item number or material description, quantity, etc. Okay. So in this table, the field is Veblen and Veblen. Through this table, we can connect it. If you want this data from this VBP table, you have to connect through this Veblen. First of all, we should know the keys. Okay, as I said, customer to VBAK first of all you have to connect, then VBAK to VBAP you have to connect it. Okay. Next is sales order, sorry, so, goods delivery. The tables are LIPS, LIKP, delivery header, and delivery item data is available in this table. The T codes are VL01N, VL02N, VL03N. Similarly, next transaction goods issue. The transaction code is MIGO. Tables are MKPF, MK, sorry, MKPF and MSEG. Invoices VF0123 and transactions are BKPF, BSEG. Okay. So all together you can here write it. BKPF, BSEG and MIGO Miro, MKPF and MSEG you can remember what's good system. For major transactions are this one. This first transaction sales inquiry, sales order and quotation. This data you will get into these tables. Next, delivery shipping data where you will get in these tables. The first you directly you connect with this table. Okay, how we can connect? KNA1 to LIKP, LIKP, and next LIKP to LIPS. Okay, so if you want sales, the particular sales order been delivered or not. Okay, the next interactive report if you want to generate, how you have to make a connection. First of all, customer to VBAK. So you will get the sales order related information. If you want that particular sales order delivery details, if you want, then you have to come like this one. VBAK to LIKF. And next, if you want invoices, invoice details, customer, customer and PKPF to PSH. Okay, we cannot go directly in this table. Okay, if you want billing, if you delivery details, the particular delivery invoices a particular customers. If you want to navigation like this sales order or delivery details and the invoices as well. If you want all together information, so you have to write interactive report. Or even if you want to write a classical report, that is possible, but you have to write a long code. Okay, VPAK, VBFA. First transaction you have to remember. Second tables actually. LIKP, LIPS. Here delivery, shipping kind of activities we do. There the data will stored in this table LIKP, LIPS. BKPA, PSEG. Here invoice details been stored. And MIGO transaction when you run, there the data will be stored in MKPF and MSEG as well. Okay. So this is about the sales and distribution models, transaction codes and tables. Similarly, yeah, one more thing is remember. You have to remember customer tables and transaction codes. If you want to create a customer table, the transactions codes are here. Customer table, KNA1, KNB1, KNM1, KNBK, KNBV. KNA1 is about the customer master. KNB1, customer with company data. Customer with company data, customer plus purchasing data, customer bank data, customer sales data. Okay, the particular data if you want it, then you should select this table. You have to go in SA11. You can check the table structure, and if you want particular table fields, if you know it's fine. If you don't know, you have to go enter the table name. You can find the details about it. Okay. So similarly, the Mara also is there. Mara is material data. In this table, three type of data we can store: raw material, semi-finish, and finish. Okay. So in sales point of view, sales and distribution point of view, the finished good material is required. Material being stored in this table. If you want the customer, the reports like the customer with sales order and that particular material or particular finished good details, if you want it, you should have to select the customer table. You have to select the material table as well as sales order table as well. Okay. As of now, you can remember these steps. What are the master tables we have to use in SD, customer and material, and transaction point of view, sales inquiry, sales quotation, sales order. This data is stored in VBAK, VBAP tables. Next, sales header data and sales item data, delivery item data, delivery header data, LIK, LFES, sales invoice header data and sales invoice item data, then stored in VSCG table. Okay. Next, this is O2C process, order to cash comes into sales and distribution department. Next is P2P cycle. This P2P cycle comes in material department, MM, or you can say purchase department. Here we have to run these transactions codes. Purchase requisition, the first transaction code, request for quotation, these three T codes 51, 52, and 53, tables, EBN, request for quotation, ME 41, 42, 43, create, change, display, data been stored in this place, EKQ and EKPO. Okay, EKQ and EKPO, purchase order data, EKQ, EKPO tables, goods issue, MIGO transaction, MKPF, MSEG, header and item data will store in this table. Invoice verification, Miro transactions we have to run. Tables are RB, KP and RSAG, invoice header and item. In the both models, sales and purchase have the transaction invoices, but the differences is the one is AR invoice, another is AP invoice, account receivable invoice and account payable invoice. That transaction we have to execute and the data being stored in RBKP RSCG. Now let's see the vendor master data. In the vendor master, the transactions codes are for create, change and display XK01, XK02, XK03, and tables are LFA1, LFB1, LFC1, LFM1, LFBK. Similarly, as I previously said to the customers, similarly for the vendor as well. Master data, vendor master data, vendor company data, transaction, then purchase and bank data. And material master MM01, MM02, MM03. Here are very important tables. Material master, MARA, storage location, MARD, MARD, MARC, plant data, MVKE, sales data for material, MAST, bill of material, MAKT, material description, MARM, unit of measurement, MVER, material consumption, MSLB, stock data with vendor, MBEW, material valuation data. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to share with you this sheet. You have to note down your book or you have to check. In future, we have to use most of the transactions and the tables as well. So let's move the next thing. Hope you are understood how the relationship in between that both tables, header and items. If you want particular details in transaction, minimum two tables you have to select it, header and item. Okay, then only you will get the meaningful informations, or the complete informations you can find, you can fetch the data from this table. If you are selecting only one table, VBAK, only hidden informations you will get. Okay, hope you are understood. Any queries?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. Now we are going to start the reports. Reports is very much important in this SAP. Okay, whatever we have been learned in the state till it, so those are fundamental concept. Okay, so now we are going to use all together to develop the reports, develop the MPP, develop the other objects. Okay, let's see what is the report and what are the report types. Reports basically, I hope you may use it reports. Anybody tell me the definition of the reports, or if you have used the reports, any standard or any concept you have in mind? Could you please tell me about it?
Sir, I can like basically it is the flow of a document, you can say, or in a short form, if you want to know how the transactions are processed or how the document has been flowed from each and every transaction, we can link the report.
Okay, good. Sundar, Sundar, are you there? Can you tell me something about these reports? Okay, so let's see. SAP have reports, means standard reports are there. So what the report is about, material document list. If you want to know, if you want to see the material list, so what you have to do it, initially you have to provide the inputs, what exactly you want it. Okay, so this is a sort, you can say it's a filter, or you can say it is a requirement, what exactly you want it. If you want this plant wise data, if you want this material number wise data, okay, so whatever you have the requirement, you have to give it on first of all. Suppose if I give 1000 plant number, so what will display us? It display all the material informations. So we just given the input, the plant number 1000, and now it's showing us this plant number 1000 number plant, whatever the material available, it's showing us this is the plant number and this plant name, and there the number of POs, item, post, quantity, etc. In short, what exactly we are seeing it here, we are going to see the informations, particular material related informations, we able to see it here, right? Here also in the report, there is a different type. Whatever we saw, that is a hierarchical LV report actually. Now we are going to see the traditional reports, that is called we are the classical interactive reports. Okay, in report definition, if you ask, okay, in the report, what exactly we do? According to user requirement, we take the inputs, we process it, we'll write a business logic on it, and we fetch the data according to user requirement from the respective tables. Okay, and we can make visualize different formats. Okay, as available in SAP, there is a classical format, there is interactive formats, and if you go in LV, then LV again have classicals, block, hierarchical, interactive, we can make. Okay, so in the LV, sorry, before the ALV reports, normal reports we are going to look. Reports, one is class, another is interactive report. What is the classical? What is interactive? Let's see one by one. The classical report, there is no interaction. We just take one, only the input, and we show in the one line, or once we can show the output.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. Yeah, can you hear me now? Okay. So in the interactive report, sorry, classical report, what exactly we do? First, we take the input. Suppose here the input is material number, and there we have the select option able to give inputs 1000 to 2000, and between all the material number should be displayed. Okay. And what I'm expecting, end user want to see the list of material number, material name, material quantity, material unit, and plant number and storage location. This is the requirement of the customer or end users. So we have to write classical report. In the classical report, what we do, we just take once input, and based on the input we have to display the results, display the output on the screen. Then we have to use the write statement, so we do not need to use any function model. Directly we can display the result on the user window. Similarly, classical interactive, in interactive there is change only the interaction you can do it. Number of, means there is a 20 list we can able to generate. The first report, this one is the report first. Yeah, simply I will make it one different one. First of all, you have to take a input. This is a material number. This is a material number. Based on the material, or let's say it is a customer. Now I will take a different example. This is a customer related. Customer number. This is a customer number 1000 to 2000. Based on the report should be displayed here. The customer number, customer name, customer city. And that respective customer have n number of sales orders. SO document. What should display? Customer sales order document number, sales order date, when they have given a sales order, that is the date, and total quantity, how many products they are ordered, that should be displayed here in the first report. This is the first report. The first report we are showing the result customer master data or customer related information. The second report, when I will click on the particular customer number, there will be the n number of customers, but a particular customer number, when I will select, what should happen? Should display the next report, and there should display that sales related information like sales document number, sales order date, and sales order quantity. Again, there will be n number of sales order, not one particular. There may be 5, maybe 10, maybe 100 as well. So if you want to know in the particular sales document what are the items are available, or what are the items we have ordered it. Okay. So if you want that information, again you have to write one more report, that is actually we called a list. Here user want to see item, item number, item name, or material name you can call, and how much of quantity we have ordered it. This is the total quantity, and this each of this quantity, each, suppose we have the n number of materials, 5 items are there. The 5 items along with name and descriptions, name and the quantity if you want, that should be displayed here in this case, right? So we can select the particular number, particular sales document number, then should display the whole information with next list. That is we call it the interact report. In the classical, we generate only single report. Okay, this is only single report. Okay, this will be the output. In the interactive, 20 list we can make it. Total 20, basic plus secondary 21, 22, and interactive list are 20. Okay, so let's see one by one. First of all, the classical, major difference we saw classical and interactive report. In the classical, only one window we can show, only one result we can display, but interactive number of, and that is valid up, that is still up to 21, max 21 we can able to create it. Okay, next point, these reports are event based. What are the event based reports? What are the events? And the selection screen, the PPT, there's some slides are there that the written, that's initialization concept. What are the events? We are talking about events. Initialization, add selection screen, start of selection, end of selection, top of page, end of page. Initialization, add selection screen, start of selection, end of selection, top of page, end of page. Okay, these are very important, and these are called events actually. The events, report events. Let's understand one by one what is the importance of this. Initialization, what exactly does it and when it's triggered? Initialization, it's triggered at the initially at the beginning of this report. Before initializing, one more event that is called the page loading, but that is not required to write it, but the behind this, the page loading event is executing. Initialization, in this event, what exactly we have to write? When it's triggered, it initially is the beginning of this report. What exactly we do? We declare tables like of Mara. If you are writing a report on material, there should be Mara declaration must be, because all the material information in this table. If you are creating the structure, the structure is declaring like this: begin of str, and whatever the fields which you require, you have to write it like this: Matner, type Matner. First one is a field Matner, and type Matner is a data element. MTART type MTART, that is a data element. MBRSH type MBRSH, and end of str. Structure declaration, this is called the table declaration, right? And here is our structure declaration. And next, internal table declaration, itab type table of str. This is an internal table declaration. Work area, wa type str. We to write this way. This is the internal table declaration. Commenting work area. After that, the selection screen, which are already done this selection screen declaration. How we have to do here? Selection screen, begin of block B1 with frame, title, text 001. Then you can write the parameters or select options, end of block B1, selection screen. All the declaration part we have to write here in the initialization event. Okay, initialization, when we write, immediately you have to write next line declaration things. Once you've done this part, validation at the selection screen, at the selection screen event, it's about the selection screen. The selection screen, as you know, we are used some of selection screen events. At selection screen, suppose if you have parameters, and if you want to validate that whatever user provide this value, whether this correct or incorrect, whether the particular data is available in database or not. Okay, so some sort of conditions if you want to write, so where you can write here at selection screen. Okay, so we can simply, you can say, in validation you can do it on input, validation also you can do on output. Okay, so these things we do write here in at selection screen. Simply you can say it's a validation. If users provide the wrong inputs like of this, and this value is not exist in the database, if user provide the correct values, this is a customer number 1000 to 2000, but purposefully or wrong information if user provides to systems if receive kind of the information, this kind of information, this kind of input is, or whatever the value is not available in the system. So we have to check here only at selection at the time of taking inputs. If it is not available this type of input, then immediately we can say to user, whatever you have entered the inputs, that input is not existed in the database. Okay, that input related any information is not existed in the database. So kindly make it clear and please enter proper informations. We can ask it. Once we proceed this step after validation, we have to write startup selections process. Okay. Here initialization being completed now. Whatever required, whatever declaration things is to write that we done now. Validations we done. After that we have to go for startup selection, end of selection part. This very major part because here we are writing business logic. Here we are fetching the data from the database, and after that if you want to manipulate the data, if you want to make any change in the data, you can do it. In the startup selection, end of selection, we write in between mostly select queries, select fields into, this is what it's a select query. I already have explained how to be used this select. As you know, these are the fields. Select field 1, field 2, field 3 from stable, which table we are fetching the data, and where you want to store the data. Temporary, we have to store it in internal table, that is our I tab is there, where Mackner is equal to mn. When we use this equal to, when we have a parameters. Okay, if you are using parameters, that variable name you have to write and equal to. In the parameter only we take single inputs. But if you have a select option, this select option, then you have to use in, then that select option name. Okay. So once we execute this, what happens? The data been fetched from this database table gets stored here in this table, enter table. After that, we have to process it. How? Loop at itab into wa end loop. And once we extract, if you want to display, you have to use this write statement. The data will be here wa dash mapner w dash metad mbrsh. So using write statement, we can visualize, we can display it. If you want to do some any other thing, sorting, then filtering, okay, you have to write a logic on this. Based on your logic, the data will process it. Okay, so in short, in the startup selection, end of selection between business logic, we do write, select query we write, we fetch the data from database table. Once we have the table data into enter table, we extract it and we display to the users using write statement. Okay. Next is top up page, end of page. Top up page, end of page is used for header section. If you want to create a header section, and header section means page column name. If you have a 5 fields, first will display the after 5 characters, and that name should be material number. Whatever you want, you can write it. Second field should display material industry sector. After 20 characters, how we are calculating? When SAP showing the results, if you are saying the 5 characters 25, 20 or whatever, so it's counting from left side. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After the 5 characters, it will display you the material number. If the size of the particular field is 10, it's consuming the 10th length of particular column. After that, after that 22nd field where you want it, the second column you should display on the after 20th characters. Again, you will count this 20th from beginning. Once it's reached 20th character space, the position will start displaying the second column. If the size is 5 or 3, it will consume 3 character space for this particular column. Similarly, to log for next column, third column, if you want to display on the after 50th character, you have to write column name along with where you want that column should present. After 50th character space, that for third column will display. Okay. So the top up page event, what exactly we do? We just write the column names, as well as if you want just write a system field. That system field name is SYULAN. What does it? If you don't want the new line, you can just write sy-u line. It will create an horizontal line, End of page. If you want to conclude this top of page, definitely closing statement is required as well. End of page, there it will execute or it will trigger on the end of the report, end of the page. Number of pages should be each reports, not only one. And what will the size of the particular report, height and width. Okay, so default our report see SAP standard report or report size SAP decided 255 character space. How much? 255 characters width. Actually, the statement is line size. Line size you have to write. Line size, it means what exactly? This is the length, the width of your report. Out of 255, if you want to use, if you want to make a report like 100 of characters, I don't want it rest of things, then you have to set a size. Out of 255, my report size would be 100 characters. Then report size is considering 100 characters only. Line count, how many records want to display on each page. Number of pages you can make it, but on each report, each page, how many counts you want to be displayed. Generally 25, 30, it depends on you, and the standard size, standard length you can give. I want 30, as written 30, the count would be 30. Only 30 records you can see on each page. And if you have 1,000 of records, what will happen? Number of pages will generate. Okay, it's displaying us the page number and each page how many counts are there, that will displaying us. Okay, so it's called the line size and line count. Width and height, how to set, these are the statements we have to use, then we can fix our height and width. Okay, so we saw initialization, declaration for at selection screen. While taking the input, if you want to validate that input, you have to use add selection screen or any other things you want to do, but selection screen it will apply only. Startup selection, end up selection. In between, we have to write business logic, or we can say select queries. Top up page, create your heading section. End up page, create your footer section of your reports. So we have to write in the part wise. First of all, write the logic, initialization, then add selection screen, startup selection, end up selection, top up page, end up page. One by one, we have to write a code on this. Hope you all have understood these concepts. Any queries?
No, sir.
Okay.
सर एकच क्वेश्चन डाऊट होता जसं तुम्ही म्हटलं क्लासिकल आणि इंटरॅक्टिव्ह रिपोर्ट्स मध्ये तर असं म्हणू शकतो का आपण क्लासिकल रिपोर्टला आपण एकच बाराचाच टेबल आहे तर आपण 12 टेबल वरती आपण रिपोर्ट बनवतो आणि इंटरॅक्टिव्ह रिपोर्ट मध्ये आपण 2-3 टेबल यूज करून तो रिपोर्ट बनवतो असं म्हणू शकतो का आपण
येस येस हो 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 म्हणू शकतो आपण. ओके. Let's create one report. YMARA CLS RPT create classical report type executable program and save it. Modularization techniques now we have to use. First of all, we have to create a include where we are going to write declaration part. See, there are two ways. One is all the codes you can write in a single page without using modularization techniques. If you want to use modulation techniques, then you may have to use include function model subroutine, etc. Okay, but in real time we have to use modulation techniques. So from the beginning onwards we have to use all the modulation techniques uses. Let's create the include program. In the first include, I will write all the declaration part. I'll make it simplicity, initialization, tables, what tables we wanted, Mara, structure, what fields you want it, check your table. I want material number. Okay, 5 fields we want it. Matter, MBRSH, MTKL, material number, name of person was created, MTRT, material type, MBRSH, industry sector, MATKL, material group. Next, we have to write internal table. See, generally we used LT, IT, Okay, for tables, IT MARA, type table of TY Mara. Next, selection screen, begin a block with frame, title, select options, Mara dash Matner. Selection screen, end of block B1. Let's create text element. Selection text. Okay, it's not activated, so it's not showing us what exactly not showing. The MNO is not showing. So we have to make first activate. Now you can see. Either you can customize or you can take a reference of dictionary. I will take a reference. Okay. So next, defaults. If you want to give that, how you can give it? Either you can write defaults over here, defaults, or defaults and low and high value and sign options you can provide. Otherwise, you can write this way. Okay, done. Let's exhibit. See, this is the material report and material. Our interface is now ready. Declaration part we done. Table, structure, internal table, work area. We have used selection screen. There we used create one block and we select options. Default values we given there. Okay. So next, include why LG use logic declaration, logic or CLS. That name anything you can write. Okay, that is not any standards on. You can create include with any name, just save it, come back. Okay, now onwards we have to use start selection screen. The start selection screen, first of all I will perform validate material number, just only I will call it. Then next event will be start of selection, perform get data, perform extract data, end of selection. Top up page event, perform set header, end of page, perform set footer. That's it. Okay, so I have just given the call. Now actually I have to write a call. I have to write a logic on it. Okay, if you had practiced on the modulations techniques, include subroutines and all, then you may understand easily. Let's create the first part, validation material number. We are creating external subroutine now, right? So validate MNO, this subroutine where I want it, I want this code in the second logic part. Here already we have created ylg underscore cls. In that include the subroutine. I want to write it as a subroutine I am creating here. The subroutine name is validate MNO. Here I have to write select single Matner from Mara into WA Mara, where Matner in MNO. Would select single Matner from Mara into WA Mara, where Matner. So what is a select single? What does it exactly? Select single Matner, it's fetching only one single record. From which table? From this Mara only. Once have a record, we'll storing into WA Mara. According to this condition, data will be fetched. If that particular input is existed in the database, then only we'll get the values into work area. If that value is not exist in database, the work area will be empty. So how we have to check the work area value is filled, means work area has something or not. Okay, we can check in this way. If WA Mara is initial means something is there in that. If let's check, if WA Mara is not initial, means something means empty or filled, we have to check. Okay, so there's something opposite actually. Is initial, is not initial. Is initial means empty, and write here message entered value or entered input does not exist in DB. Kindly re-enter and status type of message will display. Okay, I want to tell you one more thing. The differences or the select query, what are the type of select queries? As you know, now we have used select single field Matner from Mara into WA, where Matner in MNBOW. I'm keeping this side this report. I'm just explaining the differences or the type of select queries. This select query, what exactly does is select the only one record from the table, and whatever you have specified that field, that's filled with one record. Okay, if you have multiple field, no problem. Two fields with one record. Okay, not single field. Okay, just clear understand what exactly is select single. We use for fetch a single record. Even if you write select star, what will happen? A particular column, sorry, particular row, particular all record informations we are selecting it. Okay, if we have a 10 fields, a single table, and 100 records, and if you are using this query select single star from Mara into W where what will happen? It is selecting 10 fields because of there are only 10 fields in that table. If you want uh, 2 or 3, you have to specify that column name. Then what will happen? It will select 3 fields with one record. If you're selecting select star, it's selecting 10 fields with one record. Anyway, finally, the records we are fetching one records. A single record is fetching it. And matter in MNO, what exactly? We are specifying the condition. According to the condition, whatever the values are been available in this MNO, that we are passing to Matner, and if the particular record got matched and the particular records match data is available, then only the records fetched and that stored into here in the work area. Okay, simply I want to explain select single what exactly does. Fetch the data from the database only one record. Okay, column n number of or one or two, anything, that is no problem for it. And the conditional means exact record we can fetch it. Whatever we given the condition, exact the condition will match. If it is available, then only will fetch. Okay, but after one more query for single record fetch, how we do is select field Matner from Mara. This is select single. It's finished. Now we are talking about next query, that is up to one rows. How I can handle it? Question is that select single means what? Okay. Next is up to one rows. How will be the query? Select fields Matner from Mara into work area up to one rows. Here also we are fetching only one record. Fetch record, but not exactly what you want. Here we can specify the condition 100 number, 200 number, right? But here what will happen? Whatever in the table the first record is available, that record will be fetched, and that will be fetched and get into store in the work area. We fetched only one record, here only one record, but the difference is condition. Okay, the condition we can pass it and be able to fetch exactly what you want. Exact record you will get it. Here not exactly not exactly, but one record. The question will be like this: difference between select single and up to one rows. Up to one rows. Here we can fetch exact record. Here we can fetch one record, but not exactly what we want it. Okay, there's a major difference between this select single and up to one rows. Fine. Are you clear all about? Nikhil, Sundar, are you getting, guys?
Yes, sir, here.
Okay, good.
Here.
Okay, so next part is once we validate, we'll go for startup selection, get data. Now we want to fetch the data from database table to the final results to the users. Where you want to create this subroutine, select this include program name, select Matner, your name, metard, mbrsh, matcl from Mara into table it Mara where Matner in MN. Once we execute this query, the data you will be here, data will be fetched here in this inter table. We have to extract the data. Okay. Before extraction, we have to check whether the really data comes or not. Okay. How we can check? We have to check the condition IT Mara is filled or empty. If the data is available, and then only we can fetch the data. If the data is not available in database table, means here if it is empty, then definitely an IT Mara also will empty. It's nothing will come. So we have to check whether IT Mara has something or not. IT Mara means internal table is initial Okay, first of all, I will extract, I will show you, then I will put a condition, then you will get to know what the difference between is initial is not initial. I will extract it. End loop, right, WA Mara ER name only. WA Mara MTERT MBRSH. That's it. Just save, check. Okay. And the get data only I want to write this logic, and extract data. What I want to do, I want to extract the data, whatever I have wrote a code, I will put into the extract data. I just want to make separation for all things, for writing query, extracting separately. Next is set data, set header data in the footer section and header section. We are creating just subroutines, header and footer. Okay, this is header, page header, and this for the page footer side. The page header side, what I want to do, I want to create a columns, right, fifth position onwards, first column display. What I want to give a name, material, exact name maybe want. Then you have to check the description. Second is ER name, second column, 5 plus 10, 5, and this is the 10 size, 15. I will give 20th character position onwards. I have to display name of person, I will write created by, short name I will write after 20th characters position. Third, meta admins material type 419, 50. The size is material type 4, so 50 plus 10, 60. Actually 4 sizes, but I'm taking a 6 characters length. After material type, next field would be industry sector, actual size required only 1 character, so I'll give a 5. The next column after 65, material group is there. That's it. Total we have 5. First will display fifth is material number actually. Created by material types, industry sector, material group. Just save it. Similarly, the record also displayed in the below of that column name. Second column display of the 20th characters position. Third, metalt 50, 60, 65, 60, 65. Material number first, your name, material type, industry sector, and material group. Okay, done. Just save it. Here I will just write page number only. Page number. Just save it. Just activate. Okay. Okay, so let's see once again. And declaration, table declaration, structure, enter table, work area, selection screen, and default values we provided. Logic include program. The first include program, subroutine is for validating. Second, get data. Here we fetch the data from table, and whatever we have the data that we are extracting. And next is for header, column names. This is a footer, column names. Total 5 subroutines we have created. Okay, so everything is done. Let's execute. We'll do debugging. So set the line count, how many records you want to display in the each page, 25. The line size 100. And if you want to suppress the heading line, no standard page heading, if you write the page heading also suppressed it. What is the coding name actually, program name, that you can hide it. One more thing we can do it after the header. Immediately I want to display there one U line, means horizontal line I want to generate there. Just activate. Just this is generated now. See, this result is there. If I want to increase the size, will decrease the size of this particular method. Okay. See, now it's perfectly. This first one is material number created by material type intersector material group. Okay. If you want to give colors, there are 7 colors. Color 1, color 3, any of you can use it. Color 6. See the change. Okay. This is a normal event based report. Classical report we call actually. Okay. Set a breakpoint. Let's check. What we have taken the input. The material number. The material number is what exactly it is. Okay, so this informations given users 1000 and 5000. I and bit is default values there. Whatever we have written. After that, it will navigate the validation. What does select single? As I said, only one record fetch. Initially in the WMR is nothing. You want to check, you can write WMR here. That is empty. There is nothing in that. When I'll execute this statement, now it's executed, you can see there is a record 1009. If we give an wrong value, definitely it would be empty. Actually, we given a correct, so the record is available. So record fetched from the database table. It is in now in work area. Is initial, something is there. If it is empty, then this will be an error. That message will pop up. After that, next we'll go for startup selection. The startup selection, execute this business logic when select query, you'll execute it. Either F5 or you can use this icon. When we execute this statement, this particular query, initially IT Mara is empty. There is nothing in this table. When I'll execute this table, now check, there are 974 records with 5 columns, 88 KB. This statement or this query is executed. Now closing this end form, so getting the next extraction. Okay, once we have the data in enter table, we have to extract. That we are doing it now. How we are processing, you can see one by one. You're going to see the first record is this one in the work area. I tap to work area, we are taking the data. It will traverse up to 974 times because of that much records are there. So we'll jump out this. I will press F7. Directly we can move the next statement. Line by line, if you want to execute, you have to use F5, and block wise, if you want to execute, F7. The last is displaying the data, visualizing the data. Header and actual records are there. Just remove this breakpoint. Done. So report is now been completed.